guys, this is me, Maddie from TotallyMaddie.com. How are you today? We are talking a little bit about foods for the Super Bowl Sunday. So I thought that we would start with something that my husband absolutely loves. He loves anytime, doesn't have to be for just the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk empanadas. So empanadas are really awesome. Empanadas are like some people call it the pizza pocket of of Latin American cultures, especially in Puerto Rico. Empanadas are awesome in Puerto Rico. And they're so convenient now. When I was little, I remember just making the dough for the empanadas with my grandmother. And it was kind of fun. It's still really fun. But now we have the convenience of empanadas. Goya had come up with a already prepaid disc to make empanadas. So they have the orangey ones, and they have the kind of like white ones, more like flour looking ones. This one have achote and this one doesn't. So what are the difference between them? Flavors pretty much the same. At least that's my belief. The flavors are about the same. They do have the bigger ones. I can't remember what the thing, but they do have bigger ones of this if you want to make it bigger. I like this size. They're kind of fun. They're very convenient. You can taste them. You can watch the game, whatever. If you're gonna make, the only difference that I can think of is that if you're gonna make sweet empanadas, because you can make empanadas, you can fill them up with anything. If you use the white ones, they are like, if you want to make like sweet empanadas, like for example, apple empanadas, like apple pie filling empanadas, then you will use the white ones. But today we're using these ones, guys. Let's see what we can make. So we're gonna start with, oh, by the way, and they are 10 discs on these. So they're 10 little discs on these. So we're gonna make two different kinds of empanadas today. We're gonna use ground beef on one of them. Oh, well, one version of them. So you can use ground beef, you can use ground turkey, you can use ground chicken. Whatever you would like to fill them with in this area. We're gonna use Spanish olives that I diced up a little bit. We have tomato sauce. We have diced up onions, Spanish onions, and then we have 3 cloves of garlic that I'm going to crush. I also just made homemade adobo. So we're gonna use that also, and we're gonna use sazon also for our empanadas. So that's gonna be one version of empanadas. The other version, we are going to use spaghetti sauce. We are going to use shredded cheese. And this is like Mexican cheese that it has all different kinds of cheeses. And we're going to use pepperoni. Those are gonna be, so we're making beef empanadas, and we're making maybe for the kids or for just a little fun, we're making also pizza empanadas. Kids love these. Grown-ups love the pizza empanadas. So let's start cooking the meat for the beef empanadas. So let's go ahead and make the pizza ones. The ones that are like a big hit with the kids especially. So I opened my package of Goya. There's 10 in here, and these are the white ones. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to do it with the white ones with the pizza ones, okay? So this is pretty good sized one. They do have them bigger, and they come with like this wax paper in between them, all right? So that I'm going to keep because that's going to prevent for them to be sticking. I have this little thing. You don't really need it. This is just something that I have. I want to make them a little bit bigger. So you can even use a rolling pin. I love this one. So I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. So I like using the plate because I can turn it as I go. So we're going to make them just a little bit bigger. That's what I'm doing. Okay, make sure that they don't stick to the plate. Now, this is the part that is very important to do. I have my water here. You need this. This is going to be your binding agent. If you don't get these empanadas wet around the edges, they are going to open when you're frying them in vegetable oil, and it's going to make a huge mess in your pan, and then you're going to make your oil dirty. You don't want that. So let's go ahead and get them pretty wet because that's going to be your sealing agent. All right? So let's go ahead and make it. The first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to use our spaghetti sauce. This is just basil. What is it? Tomato basil one. You can make pizza sauce if you want to. This is what I have. That's what we're going to use, and it's going to be awesome when everybody's watching the game. So we're going to put a little bit because empanadas are not that big. Next, we're going to put the cheese. So just right here, the cheese. Just a little bit of it. And then I'm going to put 2 to 3 slices of pepperoni. Just depends how big they are. You can just make it with the cheese ones. I mean, it's just whatever your taste is. Empanadas, you can make them however you want. Now remember how we used that that water to glue it. So let's go ahead and get it wet again. Now we're gonna seal them with our fingers first. We're gonna get a good seal on these, okay? Then we're gonna make them a little prettier to seal them even more. We're gonna use our fork and we're going to make little presses around. Kind of looks like a little bird. And the kids can help you make this. This will be so much fun. I used to help my mom making this. This was my job when I was little. Make sure that it was sealed correctly. I love the plate because you can move it around. So we're gonna seal these like this both sides because we want to seal. We don't want to make sure that you don't poke it though. You don't want to. Make sure that when you cook it, the oil doesn't get dirty when you cook it. And that's how you make a pizza empanada. You can make it with chicken. You can make it. You can make it just cheese empanadas. You can make it with pizza. So this is it with pepperoni. You can use turkey pepperoni if you want to, just whatever you want. So over here I have the hamburger meat going, and I have this diced Spanish onion. And I'm crushing garlic because if you're gonna make empanadas, you might as well just get the fresh garlic in there. And I put my homemade adobo in it. And if you don't have that recipe, make sure you look it up. My homemade adobo recipe. So I'm gonna saute these together until it cooks halfway through, and then we'll add more stuff. So over here we have the hamburger meat, the onions, the garlic. The onions are now translucent. The hamburger meat is no longer pink. So over here I feel pretty confident now to order these. And I'm just gonna take some tomato sauce that I have frozen from a previous thing that I didn't use all the way completely. And then to that I am going to add my sazon. Sazon, and I will teach you very soon how to make homemade sazon. It's so easy. But over here, we're just going to add our sazon for more seasoning. We have the adobo, we have the sazon, and we have the tomato sauce. And now we're going to put the olives because I like Spanish olives. Now this is a very simple recipe. You can put like diced potatoes if you want to cook them with. It's just whatever you wish to put in your empanada. But look at how pretty that's starting to look. You have the oranges from the turmeric from the adobo. You have the achote, the sazon, and now we're going to have the hamburger meat. And you don't want to make it too soupy. You just want to put a little bit of tomato sauce, so you don't make it too soupy. And now we're just going to finish cooking this up. Over here, we're going to make the beef empanadas. Now, again, you can make this with turkey, with ground chicken, with ground sausage if you want to, whatever you want. Don't forget to keep these. This prevents them from sticking. I have a plate right here, and I have my empanada disc in here.
La clave, suena el bombo, hazme un bajo, que lo demás lo pongo yo. Toca la clave, sonero.
So over here we're starting to fry the albóndigas. So I'm gonna have it like in a medium high. This is vegetable oil. You wait until that heats up, and we're making the beef one first. And this is the reason why you keep those wax papers. Because if not, we will have a sticky mess. So let's go ahead and make this. And the way to accelerate the process of cooking, because you want it not to burn on one side, it is to go ahead and kind of give them a little hot bath here with the oil. I'm taking my spoon and I'm kind of like giving them a little bath on the other side. You want to cook, the meat is cooked, but the dough is not. So you want to make sure that you cook that. And again, you guys can fill this up with anything. I use hamburger meat on this one. If you want to make it with, like, if you make meatloaf or chili or something and you don't have enough for like your family to get satisfied with it, put it in an empanada. I have done that many times. Crumble it up and put it into an empanada. You can make it with chili. You can make it with pot roast. We can make them with like barbecue pork. If you don't have enough, just put it on this empanada right here, and you will like totally love it. Let me just go ahead and flip this one. You can totally see that they cook very, very, very fast, but you want to make sure that they cook on the inside. Here we go. They kind of inflate a little, so it's kind of fun to watch. They get kind of puffy. So this is the reason why you want to make sure that they seal correctly, because can you imagine if they were not sealing correctly in here? and they would just totally open, and then would just make your oil all dirty. Remember how I was talking to you about making the oil dirty? If you get your oil dirty, then that's the end of it. So we're cooking the empanadas right here, and I'm making sure that both sides are fully cooked. And you, again, make it whatever. If you want, you know, one of my favorite empanadas have always been just plain cheese empanadas. I love them. The other ones that I have liked is when you put guava paste empanadas and you put powdered sugar on the top. It's amazing. If you haven't had guava paste, go to the Goya section. They have an awesome guava paste. You can make it with apple filling if you want desserts, and then put powdered sugar on the top. You can make empanadas with anything, any leftovers, any fun stuff. People love them. So they only take a couple of minutes to fry. You just want to keep bathing them with the spoon and then turning them. But here we can have it. This is the white dough with the meat. This is one with the orange dough with the meat. And this is the pizza one. So we already cooked them. One thing that I want to tell you is that I cook these to keep them warm. You want to preheat your oven at 200, so in that way you can keep them warm as you're cooking them, because they don't make really good leftovers. You have to, when you fry them, once you eat them, unless you keep them on the oven for the Super Bowl party. And then another thing that I can tell you is that if you want to make this on Saturday or the day before your activity, you can make them up to this point right here, where you assemble them together, and then you can freeze them. And I do that a lot. So in that way I always have frozen empanadas. So all I have to do is just put them on the refrigerator for a little bit, thaw them up a little bit, and then fry them. So I am going to show you what they look like inside, because they are so pretty. So this is the white dough with the meat inside. So here it is. Look at that. You can see the cheese is going in the inside, and the empanada, you can see the steam coming out. This is the orange one, the orange dough with the meat. Look at that. Look at those olives with the meat inside. I mean, you can really do this however you want to. They're a little hot. Now look at these. Imagine this for the kids with the pizza. They're gonna love it. Excuse me. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like pizza. Look at that. Your kids and adults are going to love this pepperoni cheese empanada. Look at that deliciousness in there. So that is going to be amazing. My husband's dying to sink his teeth on that one. So I am dying to stick my teeth on this one. And they're very good. I hope you like it. Mami, hice empanadas para el juego de fútbol este fin de semana. Hice la receta que tú siempre me has enseñado, con un poquito de picadilla adentro. Mi empanada hice de pizza y me las voy a comer ahora y son deliciosas. Buen provecho, everybody. Have a good game. Have fun cooking. Bye bye.
Vamos a tocar soneros, toquemos de corazón, y en este bonito día vamos a hacer un rumbo. Y si del alma brota letra, armonía y sazón, son estos los ingredientes para componer un son. Oye, ya que la fiesta está buena, se juntaron los soneros, vamos a tocar un son que lo escuche el mundo entero, que no me falle la clave.
You want some? You can have any. They're mine. They're very good.
Y el bongo que se destaque, que no me quedo callado. Toca la clave.